Welcome, everybody, to Monday Night Law. We're live. Chat is open. Tonight, we're probably going to piss off wrestling fans, MMA fans, wrestlers, promoters, and possibly even each other, because I got a question. Why is every wrestler doing the same stuff, man? Everybody dives, everybody flips, everybody kicks out of everything, everybody takes some absolutely ridiculous bump. Looks incredible for about 8 seconds on social media, but 6 months from now, does anybody remember who did it? When everybody's trying to stand out by doing the same crazy stuff, nobody stands out at all. So tonight we're asking, what happened to having a gimmick? What happened to personality? What happened to making people remember you instead of the bump you took? Speaking of things starting to feel a little bit of the same, is WWE entering the summer stale era? WWE's been riding an incredible wave, but has some of that momentum started to disappear? Are we getting too many rematches? Predictable stories, programs that feel like they're just killing time until the next major event, or if wrestling fans just simply become impossible to satisfy. And then we're crossing over to the UFC because somebody needs to tell Dana why we don't need a UFC every 5 minutes. More fights, more cards, more content. But does more actually mean better UFC? Or are we reaching the point where nobody gives a shit unless it's a massive fight? We're getting into all of that tonight, and this isn't one of those shows where we sit here and tell you what you're supposed to think. No. You're part of the show. Get into the live chat. Tell us we're right. Tell us we're wrong. Tell us we're missing something, because this is the law. I'm Notorious TID Chris Tidwell. We've got the crew ready to go. Well, some of them. So crack open whatever you're drinking. Turn up the volume. Get lit in whatever you're smoking, and get ready, because Monday Night Law is now, right now.
What's the work? This is the law. Go. This is the law. Yeah. What's the work? This is the law. The law. What's the work?
You know, I got to say, I dig the graphic. I dig the new graphic for the fall stuff. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, Chris Tidwell. That is little Brady Wedham. He is smoking an imaginary cigarette. I don't know what's going on right now. But this is the law. This is live audio wrestling. Monday Night Law. Getting ready, the precursor coming up, Monday Night Raw coming up. And Brady, I wanted to have a conversation with you about some things, because I have been gone from the wrestling, the active wrestling business, I should say, of wrestling for a few years now. But I went out this weekend.
What'd you do?
I was at a wrestling show in the Big Smoke in Toronto. Yep. Now,
Right.
It's because they rented my ring, but nonetheless, I was there, and I went to Greektown Wrestling. Shout out to Greektown Wrestling. I'll give them a quick shout out. They have, I will say this, Brady, they have an incredible fan base there that is very, very much into what it is that they're doing.
Oh yeah, they've always drawn really well. Greektown, Decker, who runs it, the promoter, his name's Decker.
Yeah.
He's always done pretty good down there.
Absolutely. They bring in a lot of guys that, a lot of people wouldn't know about. He's definitely putting in the money, putting in the, it's a cool little venue. Not a lot of fun to load a ring in and out of. I'll tell you that one right now.
Did you give him a friend brace? It sounds like this was last minute. Did you give him a friend brace?
I gave him a last minute friend price. Yeah. Because it's business.
Was everybody happy though?
Everybody was happy? Listen. By the time people even started to show up, everything's set up, everything's ready to go. Boom, boom, boom. A job is done. It's great. Ran into a lot of people I haven't seen there, right? Ran into some people that, obviously didn't recognize me because they knew 70-pound long hair TID who didn't, look like the guy from Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
Like, so that was pretty cool. Shout out Brent Banks, got to see him. Haven't seen him in a while. It was very nice seeing him and all of the other guys and girls that I talked to. You know who else looks really good? Jock Sampson. Jock Sampson actually, and we said the same exact thing at the same time when we were like, how did it happen? Somebody asked us, how you guys doing this? And we're like, yeah, it's simple when you're not wrestling. Because you've got the opportunity to take care of yourself. And this leads me to my first topic for you, Brady.
What's up?
This is a question.
Give me
This is a question that I need to ask you. So we see a lot of the wrestlers doing a lot of the same stuff. And I noticed this even at the show, at the indie show that I was at the Greektown show that I was at on the weekend. A lot of guys doing the same thing. I think I had sent you a message like I was 4 matches in and I have already seen, 3 crossbodies caught into some tornado DDT or something like that, right?
You sent me some text. One was I've seen I'm 3 matches in, and you've seen numerous crossbody catches off the top rope.
Yeah.
Then you sent me a message that said I'm 4 matches in, and I've already seen people take ridiculous neck bumps, like ridiculous.
So this is my question, and this is what made me thinking about this, is like, it can't possibly be happening on this show. And I remember what it was like even when I was wrestling, and I would see it then. And it always brings up the question, even we hear it in the big times, even the WWE and AEW on the TV shows.
The big times.
The big times. Right?
The Fed.
Yeah, you're going down to work for the Fed, brother? Did you bring your gear?
Going
brother?
up north. I'm like, guys, you live in Canada.
Yeah. But that was north. That was south. You going to south? You going to north? What are you doing? Huh? But we've heard it, and you usually hear it from the older guys. Everybody, always says it, and I myself is guilty. Slow down. You're doing too much. If you think you're doing too much, you're doing too much.
As a ref, right? I used to get a lot of the kids, right? Let's say I did a show and there was 8 matches. Well, 4 of those matches are going to be green kids.
Yeah.
And I would literally get them in the corner and say, slow the fuck down, guys. Slow down, right. Slow down. There's a famous old saying, if you feel like you're going slow, slow down.
I mean, it's pretty simple, but here's the question, because Cody Rhodes even came out recently, right, was saying, because a lot of people are like trying to say, the Javon Evans of the world, you need to slow down, blah, blah, blah. I think that's not the whole statement in this. I think you need to make the stuff that you do mean more. Because listen, who's to say that if Javon Evans, I think this is something I'm paraphrasing here, Cody had said, that if Javon Evans can do all of these things that you and I can't do, who are we to say that he shouldn't do those things?
Yeah, okay, that's great. But if you look at Amazing Red, who just sat down with Chris Van Vliet over the past few weeks, he had pretty much brought this exact thing up. And it's relevant in the world of professional wrestling outside of just you seeing this firsthand at an indie event. This is the talk right now. One of the conversations is, why would a code red from Amazing Red mean anything in the main event if 3 people did it earlier as a transitional spot?
Well, this leads me to my thing. Like, have we got to talk about like being a gimmick? So the gimmick is the gimmick now. The gimmick used to be the move. The move used to be your gimmick. The Iron Claw used to be a gimmick, a finisher, a heart punch. Heart punch, Brady, was that had to then turn into the flaming heart punch.
Okay, Gary Hart managed 3 people who did the heart punch over his career, and I don't blame him. That's a devastating move.
But this is what I'm saying. So, and then it turned into a code red or a Canadian destroyer. Now you're seeing guys start off matches with this. I watched a match. Okay. It was a women's match between Giselle Shaw and, I know I'm going to get it wrong.
Wait, can you start that sentence over again?
I watched a women's match between MLP women's champion Giselle Shaw,
all right,
against I forget the wrestler's name. I forget who she was. I'm sorry. Becca, I want to say something like that. I think she does like this pop star I'm better than you kind of pop star gimmick. But the amount of things that I saw her kicking out of infuriated the old time wrestler and the old wrestler in me. Infuriated me.
Oh, I'm going to try and dance around this as much as I can for a wrestling show. If we were anybody watching on TikTok, normally
wrestling.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here's the reason why it's believable that Giselle kicks out of everything.
No, it wasn't Giselle. It wasn't Giselle. It was the green kid. Who's
okay.
I
take my statement back.
Who's not green or anything like that.
I can put the shovel away. I do not need to dig the hole I was about to dig.
Yeah. No. Giselle Shaw hit this girl with everything. At one point, hits her with a tombstone pile driver that I thought it was Owen Stone Cold all over again. You know what I mean?
Okay,
and this person kicked out of it, and I was
the heat's on Shaw though, right? Because you said the magic word green. So the person that was doing all of this kicking out, which I don't know why you would have a new talent being showcased like that.
I don't think she's new. I think I'm just stupid. I think I just don't know. I just don't know who the fuck she is.
Yeah, but you haven't been out of the business for 10 years. You've been out of the business for fucking a year and a half, dude. It's not like, and you were at a show every weekend. So you've seen the roster that Ontario has to offer, the surrounding states and provinces. Let's just say this person's under 5 years in, right? Giselle's been around. Well, I've known Giselle Giselle probably doesn't even remember me because it doesn't seem like they remember anybody that's not coming with cash or a value. But I've known Giselle for fucking 7-8 years. Yeah. So they've been in the business long enough to say to the green kid, hey, we're not doing these spots. This sounds like this was Giselle calling this. Look, I don't even want to out Giselle as specific. I'm just, and I'm sorry if I keep running back to it, but she is a well-known name in the industry. So that's a good example.
But I think you can take her name out of the equation and put any veteran person in that situation with a green person. And then, so the flip side of that, when you think about it though, Brady, is if I am that person, if I am that veteran person going in there, right? There's a part of me that is like, I want to get this person over. So I'm going to make them look as strong as possible, as big as possible, right? But then where's the line? Where do you cross? Where does that line get crossed between like I'm kicking out of a fucking tombstone pile driver? You know what I'm saying? Like where Rapey Dolphin? Where does the line, like, what do we say is a finisher anymore?
Look at the people who use the DDT as whatever, right? And unless you're Diener, the DDT hasn't meant anything for 25 years. The super kick is a perfect example. All right, started with the Bucks, it seems like, and then went to the Usos, and now it's everybody does a super kick. A super kick is basically just a punch. What's the fucking point of even selling it? Most people don't.
It's just a kick at this point. There's nothing really super about it.
Yeah, but that's unfortunate because when it was the Sweet Chin Music, it was one of the greatest things ever. Tuning up the band, right? Look at how stoked that crowd would get when they knew a super kick was coming. Something that seems to be such a simple move now. And we'll go back to like back in the day, like you said, heart punches. Well, a body slam used to be a finisher. And shouts out to the guy that I don't even personally like too much. Ethan Page. I used to use him as an example when he was in AEW. I said, you know why Ethan Page used to stand out and the agents and maybe even the owner didn't really understand why Page was so fucking good? Because when everybody else is doing top rope Frankensteiner sky drill presses to the outside through tables, ladders, and glass, he was literally making a body slam get over. And then a couple months later, Maxwell Jacob Friedman steals the whole thing and starts doing it with a headlock takeover. And there's nobody that's going to change my mind that wasn't stolen from somebody like Page, who was doing that in these opening matches and these internet matches where he was doing a body slam. And then he'd go to the crowd and be like, who wants to see another one or a power bomb or whatever it was? And he'd pick him up and body slam him again. And he made a body slam mean something. right?
Yeah.
So shouts out to Paige for that.
So then what's more important to you then? The being able to do the super awesome move, you know what I mean? The 450 backwards elbow sky
don't give a shit about
drill
that.
fucking press,
I don't care about that anymore.
or the character.
It's the character and a story being told,
Okay.
right? Like
So-
I don't.
Go ahead.
No.
Because I have
just,
a question about that.
I fell in love with wrestling as a young kid because of stories and over the top characters. I was born in the 80s, right? And then in the 90s, I stuck with it because it was probably just like I didn't know anything different. I rode through the whole Mr. Hughes era. You know what I mean? The Ted DiBiase millionaire group era. I ran through the New Gen era. Then I got to WCW, and you started seeing the war between that. Satellites started popping up in Canada, so I could actually check out WCW on a full time. And that's when I fell in love with Mexican moves and Japanese moves and all of these things. But it still meant something back then. The only time it's never really meant anything, dude, and I know this is going to hurt your feelings because you love it, but in Mexico's to blame. They have never sold fucking anything properly forever. These guys are doing these massive moves where they land on their fucking head on the concrete from like 10 feet up in the air, and they don't sell it. The Mexican bump is basically don't sell. Roll out.
I mean, it's clay. It's just beach sand, bro. Everywhere's the beach in Mexico. I understand what you're saying.
Japanese influence didn't have
Sure.
that because Japanese influence at
Well-
that time was like hard hitting and still
Okay.
even when they do that shit, it's still hard hitting.
Here's the thing,
It's
though.
the Japanese spirit that really stretches it on.
Here's the thing, though. If you've ever experienced a Mexican wrestling ring, you're better off bumping on the outside.
I'm not talking about a promoter being cheap, and we're talking about
No,
ring tech.
I just mean in general.
I
In
get it.
general, the way that they construct their rings because of the size of them and stuff like that, like these things, there's not the same kind of move that there is in an American ring.
I was brought in on grass and asphalt, and then when I actually joined a real gym, I came. You know the ring I came in on, the little
Yeah.
boy from WrestlePlex.
Yeah.
It was fucking concrete, dude.
Yeah.
Like it was. So I get it. I understand. I totally get it. And sometimes it was nicer to roll around on the thin layer of mat that we had on the outside of the ring than it was to roll around inside the ring because it was so stiff. So I get it.
So
I've bumped in boxing rings before. I get it.
Yeah, and that's why we all suck now. Let me ask you this though, because you say the character is more important, right? We know who the biggest character in wrestling is right now. It's fucking Danhausen, right? It's this clown.
You are cursed.
Yeah, and if you notice that our fall intro from Deadpan is now all, it's like ours intro mixed with Danhausen because he's completely taken over the entire world of wrestling.
So there's obviously, and if you follow indie wrestling and stuff like that, there's what do you think of? I think his name is Luigi Primo, the pizza tossing guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some videos of that.
What do you think of him?
Don't like it.
You don't like it.
Nope.
What don't you like about it?
It's dumb. It's so dumb it doesn't even deserve an explanation. Chris.
So what if I
This
was
is
to
the invisible man?
What if I was to tell you that dude is more over than Eddie Kingston, Ortiz, Channing Decker, Giselle Shaw,
Why was he at the
Jock
event?
Sampson,
Was he at the event?
anybody else on that card?
Because he's a fucking meme, dude.
This pizza guy over like Rover.
I'm starting to get it.
Now,
Wrestling has become Kill Tony.
now,
We're just pulling fucking retards out of the bucket.
get this, because we know how I feel about Danhausen's wrestling.
I love it. He's a Hall of Famer.
Do you think that I think any differently about this guy's wrestling?
No,
Because
he's
worse.
worse. He's worse, Chris. That guy's horrible, man. And look at, I'm just shitting on his technical ability. The guy seems to be a viral sensation. He's getting paid a lot more than I probably got paid on Saturday night.
1,000.
Although I won good money on the UFC. We'll talk about that
question.
later.
This is the question. This is the topic, though, right? Where it becomes more important. How come there's not more guys and girls putting more work into their character to try to get over this way so that they can reserve the bumps that they have on their card for when they actually have to use them? The amount of high bumps, like I guarantee there's some people Sunday who were not leaving their couch and they still got to get up for work on Monday morning, and they weren't leaving their couch because their neck was all snapped up.
I didn't leave my couch on Sunday, and I'll tell you why after we get back from a break later on, but I wiped out
completely.
Chris, I'm covered in road rash.
Oh, on your scooter gooter.
Sorry, I'm going to cut you off. So Sunday, everybody was sitting pretty stiff.
Yeah, because and I know what it's like to bump in my ring. My ring is fucking great for bumping.
If they weren't in your ring, that could have been 2 days of sitting at home and not doing much. Because we've said it a million times on the show, but your ring is the softest ring I've ever been in. There was a ring. ECCW back in the early 2000s out in the West Coast in Vancouver. Those guys had a great fucking ring. Man, that was a nice ring. Ropes are a little too high for me, but
you need a good bumping ring. All right, Brady, I'm going to take a quick break here just so we can retool. We're not going to talk about this stuff anymore because we both kind of agree that like the character is more important, but we only have so much time.
Tighten up on storytelling. Yeah, but tighten up on storytelling. That's my message to anybody in the indies right now. That would be my message before I even got out of the business. If I was just a referee, a fan, or somebody that was Euro wrestling that night, please just slow down, tell a story, interact with the crowd. The crowd's there. Use them.
Make what you do mean more. That's it. Make what you do mean more. Figure that out. If anybody wants to, ask me how, I'll be open for booking seminars later on. You're not going to like my price. All right. We're going to take a quick break because when we come back very quickly, very, very quickly, we're going to talk about is WWE in its summer stale era. Are the numbers dropping? Is it great? Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. But tell you what, we're just going to play this thing right here and find out. See you in 10 seconds, Brady.
Dickens Cider, it's legendary.
I love my Dickens Cider.
Tastes like amazing.
Quite simply the finest cider. Cheers.
Dickens Spicy Apple Cider, only on the Law Live Audio Wrestling.
We got to fucking switch that piece of shit audio out on that thing. Let me actually make a real commercial for you. I'll use the same graphic.
That's the best part of it.
Live audio live wrestling.
Yeah, it's because of your live for Live Morgan. Listen, speaking of Live Morgan, not Morgan Waller. WWE entering its stale era. The numbers from SummerSlam, less than 70,000 for both nights combined. Why do you think this is, Brady?
The product is stale, and it's not just your talent. Your talent is fine. You have all the talent in the world there. We talked about this last week when we were going over the NXT coaching. Need I say more? And you know what? Before I even get into it, great minds think alike. A lot of what we said was regurgitated by Brian Last and Jim Cornette on their show, The Drive-Thru. And don't go listen to that. Listen to us, because it seems like we get our shit out earlier. So Jimmy said the same thing that we said. Brian said the same thing that we said. Pretty much from the same seats that we sat, just with a lot less visceral and evil intent. But yeah, no, this is the problem. You've got these people so nervous, and their scripts are so big, and the story that you've given them is so stupid and complex, and they got to remember to cut halfway through that promo and story to promote whatever brand, Wheatley Vodka, Slim Jim, Allstate Insurance, or whatever the hell.
Shut up, asshole. They're not paying us.
But you know what I'm saying? You got to stop halfway through saying what you're going to say, because you need to promote these things. So there's a lot of distractions going on for talent. There's a lot of misdirection, I think, in the back in terms of writing. And I think it's now reflecting. When you have Kevin Owens and CM Punk go out on SmackDown and cut a promo against each other and you can hear crickets in the crowd. It means they're mentally checked out. I think they're just there because they're going through the motions, like Monster Jam. No one actually likes Monster Jam, but somehow every time you go and buy a $17 ticket, there's motherfuckers everywhere. You're like, why is there so many people here? It's Monster Jam. Gravedigger's been doing the same shit for 30 years.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Have we gone from the Triple H's mentality of long-term storytelling to taking too long to tell the fucking story? Like, you know what I mean? Like how
the bloodline's still a thing, Chris.
This bloodline will be a thing. Bringing this up. I hate bringing that up because, you know, every one of them is fucking spectacular in their own way. Yeah. They're all fantastic workers. But are we literally leading to the part where there's going to be Raw, SmackDown, and whatever Polynesian word there is for these guys fighting on their own show? Like, are we entering a third show? Or are we bringing something new into the mix where it's just going to be, because eventually you can't have a faction of 37 people. You can't have two factions of 16 people each. That's enough for their own show. They're going to be fighting each other eventually in this whole thing. So who's going to get dropped out and who's going to get, you know, the push? Or are they all just going to end up with their own show on a fucking Wednesday?
I used to call it the advertising era, but I think what I should be calling it now is and it's not the Samoan era, but it's the meme era. Everything that's a meme is getting over, right? So in terms of what you're saying and mixing with what we were just saying about 10 minutes ago with Danhausen and all that, is that, okay, it's all a meme. Haku is the toughest guy ever. It was a meme. It was a folklore. It was a myth. Yes, he's probably tough. Yes, he's probably been in some horrendous fights, right? And no one messes with Haku. That story is true. But the aura and the myth that went out around him, he's now getting promos on TV. We're in the meme section. We are catering 100% towards the internet. Guys who used to only listen to the internet a little bit, and then we said, we know our fan base, we'll tell them what they want, are now tapped into the internet so deep and so much that they have to just cater towards TikTok. We're in the TikTok meme era of wrestling. We are not in the Triple H, I'm going to switch shit. We are not in the Endeavor advertising era. No, we're in the meme TikTok era. Fuck.
But I mean, weren't we always in that? It's just I think we were. The lores and the stories were still there before the internet was. You know what I mean? The legends of guys being actual tough guys, and then you find out later on they really weren't. I mean, all of that.
Yeah, I get that, but I mean, like, I'm just talking in terms of the Haku thing in a sense of, like, it's going into the Danhausen thing. It might go into the pizza guy. Like, the pizza guy might get fucking hired, right? Was there anybody from the WWE at Greektown on the weekend scouting this guy? Nobody stopped.
No, but they're live. They're in
the town live this weekend, right? I think WWE's in town.
They're live on Fight.
Okay, yeah. So people can see.
I mean, yeah,
Pizza Boy's getting hired.
You know, could you imagine? Oh God, oh Jesus!
Look at New Day show.
No. You just literally put the vision in my head, where somewhere backstage there could possibly be, you know what I'm saying right now.
I know,
right?
Exactly what you're saying.
Vignette in the world of professional wrestling.
Yeah.
That has Danhausen and the pizza guy.
Mm-hmm. With a dude with a plush lizard eating pizza. Plush lizard. This plush lizards guy is getting an ultimate wrestling figure edition. He's getting like an expensive wrestling figure, like the expensive, well, not the ones for kids, not the basic ones that you can buy for $20 at Walmart. We're talking in a box.
Sure.
And it comes with a little plush lizard.
But this
we're in the meme era.
But this is what we just got done talking about. How we in the last segment, Brady, do you understand what we've just done here? We've just fucking circled ourselves around into our own. We just worked ourselves into a fucking shoot.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did. We just got done saying in the last segment how
tell
this
stories.
Character shit. Tell stories. Your character means more.
No,
but now in this segment, we're saying that we live in a world where those characters could end up on our TVs, and those characters being a pizza guy and Danhausen. And we're okay with this?
Look it. I no. I finished that last segment before we went to the Dick Insider AI video saying the story is what matters. And I don't mean just the story in terms of the character. I think you got a little bit more held up on the character thing. I don't need to see Duke the Dumpster Drosy.
Nobody.
I don't need to see, I would rather see Chavo Guerrero riding a fucking horse. I'd rather see Perry Saturn get hit so hard in the head that now he's in love with a mop.
It's funny. You mentioned the name Duke. And if I'm going to see any Duke out there, I'd rather it be like, no.
Holy, that's
absolutely none of them. No,
okay,
but you know what I'd rather
WWE
see? I'd rather
still.
see like a Barry Darso. If we're going to talk like a character and a guy that could, work, I'd rather see Repo Man out there, for God's sakes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, but like, are we going back to those characters? Is this what WWE is trying to do? Is get back to like the Duke Drosys of the world?
No, the WWE has fully embraced the idea of saying, okay, we put on a magazine show. Every segment and every minute of every piece of TV is going to be different from the one previously before that. That's what we're getting. And the writers are watching TikTok and social media and saying, how can we play to the kids? That's what's happening. And and then the guys and gals get handed the script and they're like, what the fuck is this? The people are going through the motions the same way they're going through the motions, buying the ticket and just showing up to the wrestling event because it's in town, because that's what we've always done. When it shows up to town, we go to the wrestling event. But the wrestlers and the gals and everybody else is going through the same thing. They're like, okay, we're just here getting a paycheck. We'll do whatever it says on the piece of paper because everybody's getting paid huge money. The fucking bottom tier roster is getting paid like 8 to 10 grand American a week right now.
Yeah,
it used to be 500 to 1,000 guaranteed. Sure.
Look at what it costs you to live nowadays, though.
No, this is before the cost. This is before the Strait of Hormuz was closed.
I'm not talking the last 3 fucking months, guy. That's in the last 3 years.
Yeah,
cost of living is way different than what we're talking about, 20 fucking years ago.
Lindsay Dorado.
It hasn't been 500 a week in a long fucking time.
Lindsay Dorado's weird ass fucking told us a couple years ago on this show. He's like, I sent a message to Quackenbush for $8,900 for my first week at WWE. And I said, this is more money than you'll ever see in your life.
Right.
So that was his first paycheck. Was $8,900. Lindsay Dorado at that time, you never would have thought would have got an action figure or a t-shirt or merch or anything like that. He was just a guy that they were bringing in, it looks like, that during that cruiserweight boom. So if guys like Lindsay were getting paid, and I think he's back in the company so what is Paige making? We talked about him earlier. He's a local guy that I knew how much Paige was getting paid most of his life without him even knowing that I knew. What the fuck is he getting paid now? Probably an outrageous amount of money, and good on him. But everybody in the WWE that used to make a baseline of money are now making massive amounts of money. Well, right? So you're going through the motion. You don't care because you just care that the paycheck shows up.
That baseline for a lot of those guys now, I mean, if you've been there for a couple of years, is 6 figures.
This is huge money, and there's ways to make money with everybody individually in a bunch of different avenues now. So if you realize, oh shit, I can't sell t-shirts with this guy or this gal on TV, I can put them on an internet show and they can earn money off of monetization, or you know what I mean? Like there's ways now through the company, so many avenues that you can make money through these people.
Well, because everybody needs TV time. They've all got to have some kind of TV time, and you only have X amount of matches available to you during your wrestling shows. So, I mean, what are we doing? We're loading people into vignettes. We're loading people into product placement spots on the show.
No, and this is going to lead me into this next segment, and this is why I put it on the board. So green equals money, and we know that, not only in just the color, but in the terms of last names. Chelsea Green, the segment that she did with Nick Aldis on SmackDown, was one of the best storytelling segments. That they did a shoot into a work, back into a shoot. It was fucking brilliant because you seen her come out and she broke her orbital bone, so they wanted to relinquish her title. So she relinquishes the title. She goes through a huge spiel, cuts a great promo. Then she starts walking out of the ring. Nick Aldis calls her back in. He won her over. He's like, you know what? You got 30 days. Heel, this is yours until somebody takes it off of you. Right? So 30 days, maybe she gets through this orbital fracture or whatever she's got, and she's backward, blah, 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 blah. Then Gunther comes out, and he's like, you know, he's berating her. And then Matt Cardona comes out, and Gunther squashes him in 2 seconds. Like, that's proper storytelling. It was all done right. They didn't try and make Matt Cardona get over on Gunther. Like, he squashed him in a match later on, you know, but he still, like, it was a story that was being told. And you have a star out of that. And it's not Matt Cardona, it's Chelsea Green and Gunther. So you left that TV time in those 2 segments with 2 stars built properly in the proper storyline. Keep that mentality through the entire company. So whoever wrote that is probably is a brilliant motherfucker, and just give him the entire book.
Or they just wanted to see Matt get cucked out. Could have been that too, right? Yeah, I get what you're saying. And I think that there needs to be some kind of better choice for who you're putting in these positions. You know what I mean? Like there's number one, there's not enough positions for everybody to fill these things up. So you've got to make the choices proper. Why are we seeing, like, it's no offense to the Usos at all, but are we seeing them too much on TV? You know, some would say yes, some would say no. I don't know, right? Clearly not, because the same thing that Triple H has already said, that, you know, if you want the spot, come take the spot. How are you going to take the spot if you're not given the opportunity?
If you would have said the Usos line a month ago, I would have said yes. But now, when you get the Usos, you get Solo Sikoa. And I said a couple years ago on this show that Solo was a boring dude. I don't see it. I think he's talent. Like, he's a good worker. He seems to be, you know, but it didn't seem like he had a personality at all. Holy shit. Solo, let him go. Like, the problem with these boring, stale periods too is when good things like that happen, they never get seen and no one talks about them ever again.
Right.
But you're watching Solo turn into like a rock.
Yeah, I could see it. The comedy is there 100%. We need to have more of that. That's the perfect example of working on the character. Instead, you know, he still does the moves, still does all of that stuff, but the character is what's getting him really over right now.
And you could be right. Maybe you're right and I'm wrong here, because the only thing I remember when I see a Solo segment is him, the character. I don't remember the story that they're trying to tell.
Yeah.
So you might be right. The pew. Did anybody get hit? Anybody get shot back there? Like, he's fucking brilliant, man.
It's good stuff. All right. We're going to wrap up that segment. We're going to take a quick break, an actual break this time, and tell you a little bit about the show that our buddy Steve Swift does. He has his own channel over there as well. He also does the Bees of Boxing over here, but he has his own channel. So we're going to give him a little bit of a rub. We're going to be right back, and we're going to talk about the UFC, Dana White, the new big rumor of where the next show is going to be. And does anybody really give a shit? Are we seeing too many fights? I'm Chris. He's Brady. Thank you for doing all of the things that you do. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. We'll be right back.
Wrestling, rock, pop, books, films, TV, boxing. All of this is covered on Steve Swift's Rambling Reviews. I am he, Steve Swift, a UK guy. What you get is all of that, and a funny voice, and even a funnier face. See? Steve Swift's Rambling Reviews. Come to me. I've got a review. Just for you. Ta-ta.
Oh, hey, all right. I'm Chris. He's Brady. Let's talk some MMA here on the Law, because we do. We talk wrestling, we talk boxing, we talk MMA, we talk all of that stuff. Somebody needs to let Dana know that for somebody who brags and boasts about the amount of fighters that they've got under contract, I mean, we're seeing an awful lot of fights every weekend with a whole lot of fighters that nobody knows. You don't even have time to build a star. I mean, the new deal with Paramount, though, if you think about this, they committed to 13 numbered events and 30 fight nights, 43 events a year. There's only 50. Like, That's every week, it seems like. It's every week, Brady. So how do we have the time to even build stars?
Well, I don't even know if I should admit this, being the big MMA fan that I am, but this was the first event I ever missed live since UFC 7.
Okay.
And the reason why, it wasn't like I was busy. I've always dodged these busy things, or I've always been able to watch a UFC. And I don't mean every fight night. I mean a numbered event and big fights. I could have watched it. I played Grand Theft Auto with my buddies, and I bet on the fights, and I didn't watch them until the next day. And I knew that I had what the outcome was because I had won money. On easy, predictable fights. I only bet on Mackenzie Dern and Islam.
Yeah.
And I did well.
Yeah. That's all you had to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you had to do. You know what I mean?
Not the nicest looking card on paper, and not really the greatest card delivered. It was an average card at best. Main event and semi-main were average at best. I don't know if we're spoiled because we had Freedom 250 and we've had these big events, or this is just what you're saying. We're not focusing on building actual talent and hype. We're just going through the motions again.
So it makes the question, because John Anik brought something up, right? Where he said that they, here's a guy who works for the company who's actually said that they should cut the roster back. Cut it back to, 150 or whatever. I forget what it was that he said, but cut the roster back, cut the amount of fights back from 15 to 10 on an event, still have, and then build all of that. I understand that argument, but the counter to that then is if you cut loose 250 or whatever it is, 200 fighters, you've just given MVP and Netflix an entire roster to choose from, right?
Yeah, and that's what you want. You want that. You want the MVP and Netflix MMA to do very well. You want it to do amazing. You want it to almost draw the same numbers that you draw now.
Almost the same numbers.
Yeah, well, there's a reason why I said almost. Yeah. But you want this to do well. And the reason why you want it to do well,
preach.
Competition is the best thing for everyone.
Makes me do a meanie dance. Shout out Blue Meanie. Get better, buddy. He's dealing with some broken ribs right now. So
is he still working?
Yeah, he took a bump. He took a bad bump. He's got some busted up ribs, I hear, and shoot for those of you that don't or haven't yet, shoot him some love. Shoot him a little message.
Shoot the Blue Meanie some love. His ribs are hurting.
Absolutely. So what do you think? Do we cut this whole thing down, or is Dana doing the right thing where he's focusing kind of more on putting together these spectacular events? We've already heard, he's already done the Sphere. They did nighttime at the White House, and he says that he's working on the next one, the next big one. I mean, pretty much speculation is, usually right on this stuff. And they're looking to do something probably at the Coliseum, right? It's the ultimate in gladiator shit when you consider that. I think it's like the opening scene from the original UFC entrant, the opener for their shows is like gladiators fighting, right? Like it is the ultimate circle. So the Coliseum makes sense.
Sorry, I just destroyed the audio there for a minute, but I can't think about that scene with the hand in the dirt and going through like Gladiator. And you got to think, like, Gladiator, the movie wasn't even out yet when that shit fucking hit TV, right? Dun, 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 dun.
Yes, new metal. The old new metal fucking sound.
Era that I love, and there's a reason why they always throw back to it. I think they just keep using that music and using that entrance and that intro because it's great. And you're right, it's the Coliseum. It's the first place that we know of that we went there to scrap with people watching.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't we take it back there? And I think they've been trying to do that. I think they wanted to do it with Connor originally. that they wanted to go to the Coliseum and use Connor. Then they were talking about John Jones and Brock Lesnar and all these different names over the years doing it. Who should be headlining it? I don't think it matters. Throw fucking featherweights in there. Let's go. Let's go to Rome.
I can imagine that the problem is, I don't know if you're supposed to be inside of it. Like, they have tours that, go around, but can you imagine like setting up
No, I could do
machinery, setting
it.
up rigs, has the show ever been done in the Coliseum?
Not
Has
bad.
anything ever been done inside of the Coliseum? I mean, in today's age, not fucking filming Gladiator.
No, fucking look it up, motherfucker. Yes.
That's what I'm asking you.
This can be done. No, this can be done. They've done things there. They've done presentations there. They've done reenactments there. They've done events there, and they can do this there. They're just not going to fit the amount of people that they think they're going to fit. It looks great when you see it on TV. It looks great when you see it in history books. But when you get there, I haven't been there personally, but I've see, like when they talked about this 10 years ago, I looked into this event because I'm like, oh shit, this is going to happen, right? Like this is actually going to happen. And I looked into it, and I think it's like maybe 3,000 or 4,000 people. Like we're talking about another Freedom 250 kind of event. And we've got 14 minutes here before Raw starts. So we'll get our audience rolling on out before that happens. But yeah, we're looking at, you see what I'm saying?
50,000, but that's through the stands. It could hold an estimated 50,000 spectators.
50,000. I thought it was 3,000.
Well, because you got to remember, you're not sitting anybody up on the fucking walls.
No, that's what yeah.
On the bottom floor, right?
Well, they could just build bleachers on the inside and just fit 20,000 if they wanted. And just you know what I'm saying? Build a Coliseum inside of the Coliseum. You're going to have to do that anyway. The same thing that they did on the White House lawn. They built like their own little mini, like, I don't know if you noticed how that was laid out. It was laid out like a Coliseum. It was laid out for I'm surprised that Trump didn't sit in a golden fucking chair overlooking everything, eating grapes and all this shit. But that's the effect they were going for.
I feel like I don't, and then there's how do you sell tickets to this thing? How do you screen for this thing? How do you stop something bad happening at the fucking Coliseum? You know what I mean? Somebody decides they want to take home a little fucking souvenir.
No, they stopped a whole bunch of people. Look at the terrorist act that was going to happen at the White House event was, if you look into it now that the dust is kind of settled, looked like it was pretty fucking gnarly. You think it's a work because that's the name of the show. What's a work? Everything's a work. Ladies and gentlemen.
Unless it happened, it's a work.
You know what's a work? We seen one of the biggest debates in the world this weekend or this past week, and I guarantee you don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about.
When it comes to the children, Wu-Tang is for the children. We teach the children.
Hey, we're not rolling the show out yet. But one of the biggest debates in the world happened, right? And it was a work. It's over a whole thing that's a work. And the more that people make a big scene out of it, the more I think that you're right. Everything is a giant work. This isn't a work, though. This isn't a work.
Would Paramount, would this be the biggest thing that Paramount could ever fucking put on?
No.
A UFC event at the Coliseum?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I thought you meant in terms of like, what can they do? I was going to say Paramount's done some big shit. But
or do they fuck this whole thing up, and because it's Paramount, they try to figure out a way to get fucking Taylor Sheridan to write it?
Like, I hope that's what they do. And I hope that that's the only time we're going to talk about events in terms of long-term discussions, because these events are happening too much. We can always do recaps, but I don't even like doing previews for events anymore. And this is the reason why last week we didn't really talk about Islam or Jan Gary. I refuse to call him Ian. Jan. Because what's the point?
I'll have you. It's pronounced Ian. Ian.
In a different timeline, Connor's fight goes the distance, win or lose, and the hype continues to go on. When Connor threw that fucking kick and his knee blew out, all the casuals and all the long-term people all just lost their load inside of their nut. They got blue balls, and they said, that's it. I'm not doing this anymore. This girl ain't putting out.
But Islam's the greatest fighter that the UFC has.
No.
He's got the longest. He's got the record.
Yeah, well, he's the most protected. They protect the Dagestani guys.
Oh.
Did you see the win to lose record? That entire camp right now is at like 107-2.
Yeah.
That's the win loss record for that entire camp. You're
Yeah.
telling me there ain't fucking something in the goats that they're fucking?
What I'm telling you is that they need to figure out who those two were and fucking take them out to the woodshed. Fucking up dad's fucking record like that. I'm just saying.
How much money did you win this weekend?
I didn't win any money because I didn't bet.
You were busy.
I was busy.
Take
all
it back to the
weekend.
beginning of the show. You were at an indie event, and what were your final thoughts on the indie event? Greektown Wrestling in the heart of Toronto with a very good crowd and a very, very nice guy in Channing.
If you are in the Toronto area and you are looking to have a good time, have some drinks, see some solid, hard hitting indie wrestling action,
head to Church Street, and then when you're done there, go over to Greektown.
where you're going to see some people take some ridiculous bumps and do some ridiculous things.
Don't encourage it.
Yeah, well, no, listen. You know my mentality this year, Brady. My mentality is, we're going to see how this plays out. I'm not stepping away.
Yeah.
Right? We're just going to see how this plays out. But please go check out Greektown Wrestling.
Shouts out to Aiden Prince before we go. Another star, former TNA wrestler and indie guy. He said something very brilliant on social media this week, and I know they got a great reaction. But he goes, sometimes you just got to he goes, a smart person told me in the business a long time ago, what's the point of airing out dirty laundry? If they're that bad of a person, life will do it for them.
I mean, it happens every time. It happens every time. All right. Final thoughts on
Monday Night Raw coming up.
Final thoughts on all of this so that we can get to Raw and everybody can, go get a fresh drink.
Indie wrestling spots. Everybody talk. Don't do the same moves all the time. If you know your buddy does a pile driver as a finisher, don't use it as a setup. Green is money. Chelsea Green, please heal fast so that we can all enjoy the storytelling that you were involved in. Dana White, come on, man. Let's build some more stars. Get Patty back in the octagon as soon as possible because it seems to be your money. WWE, you're stale as shit. Fix your backgrounds, get better writers. Like I said, I'm open to going down to NXT. Hire me on a consulting contract. I promise you will not regret spending your money on me and giving me a work visa for 6 months. And the UFC PLE recap, well, the UFC was meh. That's my final thoughts for this week.
Well, listen, it all comes down to this. In the world of wrestling, we're talking about more moves. In the world of WWE, more content. In the world of the UFC, more events. It seems to be what everybody is looking for right now. So let's see how, like I said earlier, let's just see how all of this plays out. Continue to be a fan. Continue to watch all of this stuff. Continue to support the things that you like supporting and continue to tell the other things to go hoop its hat. That's what I'm saying to you right now, because like I said, we only do a couple of things around here. Oh, no.
Well, before we go,
Oh,
I don't mean to cut you off.
yes, you do. You're like a moil.
No, I wanted to do this at the end of the show. We lost a really close buddy in the
I was going to get to
business. I know you were, but I just because I was going to put the mic down.
Okay.
I'll let you go through it, but my heart goes out to him. I'm literally staring at a box of stuff that I was waiting to send off to him. That Hulk Hogan head thing that's on my lamp over there. The reason why I always have that in the show, it's always hanging in the background because it was sent to me by this gentleman that we lost this week, one of our listeners and one of the nicest guys in the entire fucking world. And every time I think about it, I got nothing to say.
Yeah, the gentleman Brady is talking about is none other than legendary super fan and friend, personal friend, Rob Arbick. Rob was the kind of guy, if you were a wrestling man, woman, no matter what, he supported you all the way through. Rob is the kind of guy who, would go out of his way to make you feel you were special. In doing so, Rob became a fixture in pro wrestling, in indie wrestling. He became a member of our family. And by our family, I mean workers. I mean the people that put on the shows. And that doesn't happen very often. There is literally a handful of GOAT fans like that probably in all of the world, and this guy is one of them. If they're going to make a Mount Rushmore of wrestling fans, Rob Arbick deserves to be first ballot recipient of anything ever. He is going to be truly missed. All of his friends and family, our hearts go out to you and every single one of you. So if you knew Rob, condolences. If you didn't know Rob, it's a shame. Find that person in your area. Be that person in your area. Go love professional wrestling. Go be a fan of professional wrestling. These guys and girls are out there bumping on the back of their head for nothing for you. So make them feel some love back. Listen, I'm Chris. He's Brady. WWE Raw is coming up in a couple of minutes. Like I said, we only do a couple of things around here. We teach you that Wu-Tang is for the children. I've already played it, so I don't have to. And you also have to remember one thing. The fight's going to come. The hard times are going to come. You're going to get choked up. Don't duck it. Just tuck it. Peace.